Has been a practicing attorney here in Portland on private property rights and be an advocate for us in the private industry. But recently he has been willing to step up and go into the public arena and run for Attorney General. Right. So please help me welcome James Buchal and his wonderful knowledge about the environmental fallacies.
Woo! Yeah, James!
There you go.
All right. Speak right into the mic.
Thank you.
There you go. There you got it.
Well, I came out here to talk to you today because I look at this coal train thing and I see the same kind of lies and fear-mongering I've seen throughout my entire career from Oregon government and from the federal government to destroy freedom and prosperity. Yeah. I don't use the term lie lightly. I went online last night just to brush up on this stuff, and guess what I learned? What? Coal dust causes train derailments. Yeah, it's like this magic stuff that's on the tracks and bam, you know, blows the trains right off the tracks. Now, of course, like everything else, you know, there's a grain of truth in there. Oh yes, once upon a time, there was a waterfall when it rained and snowed and it washed the tracks out. And some government agency had a little sentence in their report that said, oh, maybe the coal dust on the tracks contributed to this somehow. This type of reasoning is lunacy. This is the type of lies that are destroying our prosperity. Yep. Or we hear about the health defects of coal dust. It's going to kill us all. It's going to make us sick. Look, coal miners can live in this stuff for 30 and 40 years without getting sick. Very few of them do at exposure levels that are orders of magnitude higher than anything anyone with any experience. It's just incredible.
That's better.
These lies that they tell about this stuff. They don't tell people these facts. They don't tell people that you can control the dust. Once upon a time, we had agencies and courts that interpreted our administrative laws and environmental laws with common sense. If they said there was an environmental impact, there was an environmental impact. But that's because we studied things like building an entire train track for several hundred miles. Now we're talking about, hey, the track's already there. We're talking about the impacts of rolling the car down it. This is not what environmental law is supposed to be about.
That's right.
You're here.
That's right.
We've moved from regulating real environmental problems that actually killed people to regulating imaginary things. We have armies of regulators now that sit around and build computer models where they imagine things that might happen. And at the same time, it's choking and killing us all. You know what the real health problem is? What? The real health problem is we've got cancer. We've got government cancer. We've got cells of government employees multiplying out of control and destroying the body of this country.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, I sat down this morning to read the paper and I read this article in Reuters about Greece. You know what Greece is? Greece is what we're going to be if we don't get things straightened out. And here's what the article said about Greece this morning. Even government officials admit that the lack of clear laws and the endless requests for opinions, studies, and permits are there to give work to unionized specialists. So no one can build anything in Greece either. And that's why the Greek unemployment rate is like what we're going to have if we don't get control of this situation.
Yeah!
Yes.
We've got armies of these professionals sitting around and they don't understand how any project could ever go forward at all. You know why they can't understand it? Because their job depends on them not understanding it.
Yeah!
It's a situation that is not sustainable. They say we're going to sell coal to the Chinese. Great! We owe the Chinese trillions of dollars. We better find something to sell them or we're going to be in real trouble. I don't think there's anything wrong with generating electricity from coal at all. But if you did believe that there was something wrong with generating electricity from coal, well, the Chinese are going to do it anyway. And guess what? Our coal is a lot cleaner than the Chinese. So that means if they burn our coal, everybody's better off according to the environmentalists. But hey, the environmentalists are not about protecting the planet. They're about protecting their own convenience.
You're here.
Sure, you know, I know some people don't like trains. I don't like it either if I pull up to the crossing and I have to wait for 50 cars to go by, but that doesn't happen very often. We're past the point where we can let selfish people and their own little concerns about convenience and their own little imaginary fears result in the destruction of freedom and prosperity that has people in order cars and their children having no shoes.
Say it.
Anyway, we stand here as Oregonians to push the concepts of freedom and prosperity. We stand here to say that these hecklers are not going to have a veto on our future. And I hope you all are working very hard to make sure we have a big change coming in November so that this kind of stuff comes to a stop. Thank you.
You're here.
Yay, James Buchal.